ridiculous. I'm starting to get a bit fucked off with it.
It's not going to get what it wants. It's just going to kill everything around it and take it with it. Yeah, basically, yeah.
I don't give Andy. I reckon I'd have given Andy a good run there at the end, but I got
Did you have
aero
damage?
damage and I just couldn't keep it.
Awesome.
Yeah, 5 on front.
Yeah, because I was just trying to keep consistent at the end. I just didn't want to
Because
win
Fury
it.
was holding me and you up, because you was quicker at the start and then I was quicker second bit. Coming through that right hand, I got right on the back here.
Oh,
Right, Matt, you got
carousel,
it.
mate, I fucking hate the carousel. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Have you got my stream?
You back live? Yeah, you back live. Are you on the weather bit? Just sorted the weather.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I've got you.
Hi, mate.
All right, buddy.
Hello?
Have you got your mic settings set to be allowed to share? So go to
Party settings. Are you on PS4, PS5? Yeah, PS4. Oh, right, Dan will be able to...
right. So are you on the party page? Right. So from there, let me get on the party page myself. So go to party audio settings, and it should say allow your voice to be shared. Alright, always allow, yeah? Perfect, thank you, mate. Right, is everybody in?
I've just had to tell your dad off in the stream, Dan.
Why?
Because him and Disco are having arguments.
Oh yeah, Disco wasn't happy at all. He was saying about, okay, he goes, Kelly's fucking smashed me again or something. I don't know. Something like that.
Great.
He's not happy with him.
That's going to be 2 inquiries coming in then.
Yep.
Right, Matt, are you ready?
He's gone a minute.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I think he's just gone to the toilet or something.
It's not like he's got a qualified, eh?
Can hear you chatting just. Oh, fucking hell, this is... Apologies.
Yeah, that would be Matt's end. That would be Matt's end. Then it's alright. Don't stress.
Oh, it's just one thing after another. So, guys, if you are listening, we do have some of the
Stop
top
listening.
3.
No, stop listening. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
No,
Don't listen. Shh, 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 shh.
We'll just keep
Don't
talking.
listen. No, we're not here. We're not here. You
Yeah.
can't hear this. You can't hear anything.
Can I get a... Oh, yeah! Sorry, that slipped. I just had to let it out.
Is this overtaker in here with Andy?
Yeah.
Your two's qualifying pace was insane.
Matt, we're heard in the background, by the way.
Mate, I was just trying to keep it together in the race. I just didn't want to push too hard.
Are you ready, Matt?
Ready when you are, mate.
Let's go. Let's not mess about. We're already behind.
Yeah.
Sorry about the start, boys.
Do you know what, I was ripping into my tyres. The reason why my pace wasn't as quick in the race is because I was taking too much out of the tyres.
you running?
I was soft. I was on the soft.
Really?
The only reason why I was on the soft was literally just because of the formation lap. That's the only reason. It's because I was because of the formation lap. If it wasn't for the formation lap, I'd have been on the hards. But I learnt my lesson from Laguna last season, doing the hards on the formation lap, and it just they took that entire race to warm up.
Do you know what? It wasn't actually that bad.
The hards
Slaggy,
were.
as you probably could have told.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's just my setup.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't want to risk it after last season at Laguna.
No.
Not worth the risk. Gotta play it safe.
Mazda and you took my first win away from me.
Oh, Mazda royally shot you in the foot, mate. I saw that.
That dive bomb was ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I wanted to get him done as quickly as possible. I wanted to get him done ASAP. Going into that end of the straight, into the left-hander, I just dive bombed him and ended up going deep because I just didn't want to spend any longer than I had to behind him.
Yeah. Right, Dan, you're live.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport. We do have your top 3 in the chatverse. Apologies for the end of that stream. I don't know exactly sure what happened. Might be Matt's end, might be mine. Who knows? But nonetheless, we do have the top 3, and it was the top 3 you saw before. We have Overtaker, Matt, and Andy in the chat. And first things first, we will start with Overtaker. First things, mate, welcome to Simplay Motorsport. Race 2 didn't quite go your way. It's nice to hear your voice in the chat as well. And what? Tell me about your race. It didn't seem like it went well from start to end, to be honest, did it? As we can't hear him right now. So,
hello.
Hello, there we go.
Can you repeat the question? I wasn't here.
So, obviously, race 1 didn't go your way. What happened from basically start to end? Just seemed like you got a few mistakes here and there by yourself and get caught up with a few drivers.
Well, I would disagree. I think the race 1 went perfectly fine for me because I don't like this track. As, I spin on almost every corner, so it was okay. First place, it was lucky first place.
Yeah. Going into race 2 now, you're going to be starting near the front with Andy. So mid-pack, obviously top 7 can't qualify. So you're going to be starting roughly 9th place. What can you do from there?
If I can repeat P3, it's going to be awesome.
And also we go in. Obviously, you lead in the championship at the minute. Matt missing a week next week, and is it just making sure you score as many points over Matt at this stage, or you got to keep an eye out for Andy as well?
I don't keep the championship score. I just came here to enjoy and give some good battles with you guys.
Well, best of luck for race 2 and congratulations on the 3rd place, mate. We'll let you get back to your party chat.
Thanks.
As we do move on to the 2nd place man, Matimovic, and not really, well, it's a good and bad race at the same time. You look like you had the pace mid-pack. You look like you had a great pit stop, and another Mercedes, a Teletubby Mercedes was holding you up a bit, wasn't he?
He was a nightmare. And bearing in mind, I've raced with him for about 13, 15 years. He was an absolute nightmare. But no, good race, like you say. Up and down moments, bit slidey at some points. Was catching Andy early on, but couldn't get nowhere past him. Everywhere you could have probably had a look, I made a mistake, and Andy just was able to get me. And then everywhere I pulled him back in was at the wrong spots. And then at the end, I got that 5 aero damage from Mazda, and Andy was long gone. It was a case of get a 3rd, 2nd place this season.
Yeah, definitely so. And 2nd place of the season, you gain a little bit more points over Overtaker, but knowing that you're not going to make Imola next week, is it all about trying to score as many points as you possibly can here at Road America?
100%. It's about doing this all season to see where we can finish at the end. Never say never for next week. Let me buy my suitcase tomorrow, see how much room's in it for the PlayStation, see if I can take it over to Switzerland with me. Might be on the pad to score some points, but no, look, it's about scoring as much as we can all season. Shame that I do miss next week, so I can't push Andy and Overtaker hard in the season, but hey, we don't know what can happen later on in the year.
Yeah, definitely so. And obviously, I've done it myself after having an operation or surgery, and come back on the pad. If you do manage to take the pad away with you, is it something that you're going to worry about racing, or is it just literally just turn up, score points, and oh, Gary, big moment. Is it all about just scoring points and making sure that Andy and Overtaker doesn't get too far away?
Turn up, score points. What we get is what we get. You know, I don't race on the pad. I really do not like it. I take my hat off to those people who can do it. But it'll probably be just turn up, score as many points as we can, and see what happens. You know, 5 points is better than none. But as is the real world nowadays, and obviously I've now got other commitments as well as Simplay, so it sucks. Because I really wanted, now that I know I can be in this position, really want to push Andy hard, because I've seen how Andy races with yourself and Fury, and when he gets to the business end of the season, Andy has some fantastic battles with drivers. I wanted to be another one in that position. But you know, it is what it is.
You're going to be starting pretty much second to last with Fury at the back of the pack. What can you do from there?
Tough one, but 16th to 5th last week. in the lap 1, so we'll see if we can do it again. But we'll see. You know, race 2, very tight, twisty track. The start's going to be the key.
Definitely so. We'll let you get back to your party chat, and congratulations on
Cheers,
second
boys.
place.
Well done to Andy and Overtaker as well.
Cheers, mate. Well done.
As we do move on to your race winner, appearance 99, and another win for yourself, Andy. Congratulations, and I bet you were glad the session got restarted after that one.
Yeah, I can't believe this is... My next race is going to be appearance 100. That's crazy. Honestly, where's the time gone? That's mad. But yeah, I'm really happy with the win. Qualifying went pretty much according to plan. Just managed to nab Overtaker at the end. This track's a lot more suited to the BMW in relation to the Lambo than Sakito was. Sakito was very much a Lambo track. The BMW seems to be really good in the slower corners. It's big things, traction, but also it just seems to be planted through those slower corners. So I was very happy in the qualifying and the race. I really had a hard time with Fury and Matt. They're both pushing me. Fury fell away after the pit stop, so I'm not quite sure if he had a long pit stop. But Matt had the incident with Mazda when we were both coming through. Mazda was yet to pit, so we came through, and they seemed to have a bit of a tangle, which is obviously unfortunate for Matt. Wouldn't have wanted the battle to have been decided in that way, but nonetheless, I'll take the P1 and the pole position point.
Yeah, definitely. So pole position away from Overtaker. Obviously, you don't have me this season pressurising you race for race, but instead you seem to have gained 3 other drivers to give you an absolute headache with Fury, Matt and Overtaker. And Fury, that race really gave you a run for your money at the start of that race.
Yeah, he really did. Fury is a very quick starter. Every time I race with him in the early laps, he seems to be very quick out of the blocks. He's good on high fuel loads. And yeah, he was putting me under a lot of pressure. He got ahead of me, and he's hard to pass as well. So I just had to stick to the back of him and make sure that come the pit window, I was in that striking distance, and luckily we were able to get the jump on him. But Fury's going to be a force to be reckoned with in this next race. He'll be starting at the back alongside us. And I can't rule out Overtaker. I know that he says he doesn't like this track, but you know, he does quite well for a track he doesn't like. He's certainly is no slouch. But yeah, should be an exciting race for second race with Overtaker, Matt and Fury, and just need to stay out of trouble really in the first few laps.
Well, good luck for your 100th appearance here at Simplay Motorsport. And is this going to be the season that you finally take the championship?
Honestly, not even thinking about that at this point. I led the entirety of the championship last season up until one round from the end. And yeah, we had a great battle. Obviously, we've had many great battles throughout the seasons, Dan. But in your absence, it would feel a bit sillier for me not to go one better. It feel like an opportunity missed. So I've got to go for it. But at the moment, I'm not thinking too much about it because, again, you can have a lead. You can lead the championship the whole way through, and you can still lose it. It's all about who's in front at the end, not about who's in front at the beginning.
Yeah, definitely so. Well, good luck for a race 2, mates, as we will be focused now on this qualifying session. Andy takes another win here at Simplay Motorsport on his 99th appearance. His 100th appearance is now going to be in race 2. Jamie, can he do what he just done, take a race win onto his 100th appearance here at Simplay Motorsport, as Gary goes fastest with a 2:08.1.
Yeah, that's a great lap there from Gary. Yeah, I reckon he can. So he's got quite lucky with the reverse grid draw. He's up in 9th place, unlike Matt and Fury who are up at the back. I'd just also like to put out there, Matt, I am not available to drive for you on the pad next week.
I think a lot of people who aren't able to race and want a pad driver, Jamie will be your hot topic for that for sure. But the problem is Jamie doesn't like Mercedes, so if you're in a Mercedes, you're pretty much out of luck on that one. If you've got the Audi, then he's more than welcome to help you out. But at the minute, it is Gary who is fastest at the minute, but Disco in second. He needs to have a good qualifying. He's currently going to stay there because that is it for qualifying.
Yeah, he's going to be his second. Monkey Boy has finished as well, and Plava will get one more lap in. He's struggling a bit, and I think he's got a bit of lag issues as well. So hopefully he can make it all the way through this race.
Hopefully so, as Plava really needs to try and fix his internet ever since he's moved up to the Pro, as he goes P6 or stays P6. He goes ahead of Kelly, who's currently the slowest of the lot.
Who is coming to the line? It is Mazda. Can Mazda find about 0.4 of a second to jump onto the front row of the grid alongside the other Mercedes? He comes over the crest, comes towards the line. Can he find any time? He can, but it's not enough. Yeah, it's not enough. Peaceful comes over the hill. Can he improve? Can he jump his teammate?
Oh,
no.
Not quite. He's still a 10th off of his teammate. It's just KLF and M Plava still on track. I think M Plava in the sector 1, is it? No, I think that's pretty much...
Plava, he's 0.4 up, so he would jump above Peaceful at the minute.
He would jump against people. He needs to make sure he has a nice, clean section here. As again, guys, apologies for the late one this evening, as we had loads of incidences going on with the internet and with also the lobbies. So Road America already doing my head in, and I do not want to see it again. As we go into the carousel, M Plava, can he find that few more seconds that he needs? He goes a little bit wide on exit, but it's all going to be about the reverse grid here. Jamie, D-Biggs is leading it, and he's not too far behind. Overtaker just behind him. Smokey will start 11th, Emo in 12th. Matt and Fury at the back of the pack. What can they do? And the first time these guys do a grid start, as M Plava has still got 0.4 on his lap time.
Yeah, he's still got 0.4 on his lap time. I tell you what, Matt and Fury might be in the best position, because it could get messy at turn 1.
It could get messy. But M Plava coming through the final few corners now. Has he kept that 0.4 up, or has he lost it all?
Oh, he's got on. Oh, he's on the ground. Oh, he's definitely lost it all now. He's into the wall, so he'll be starting 6th, just behind Peaceful.
So that is it. Gary 131 takes pole position here with Disco in 2nd. 3rd is Mazda. 4th is Monkey Boy. 5th is Peaceful. 6th is M Plava. 7th is KLF 900. 8th is Biggs. 9th is Andy. 10th is Overtaker. 11th Smoky Devil. Emo Guy in 12th. Matimovic 13th, and Fury in 14th place position. Pit window is back to its normal way. End of lap 3 and end of lap 11. It is Gary 131, your 2-time champ, currently on the front row. Can he keep Andy behind him? That is Bisco behind him. That is a question. Jamie, predictions on race winner for race 2?
I'm going to put my money on Andy once again.
I'm going to go and put my money on Gary 131 for this one. I think Gary, with a bit of clean air on his own, he usually does quite well in race 2. I think Gary's going to look strong for this one. But look at the grid, guys. They're so close to one another. It's not staggered. They are side by side and really close. If you go on board with Matt, let's see his view into turn 1 as they're all just getting ready. That's all we can see right now. Just sea of cars, and also Fury and Emo Guy and all the guys on the right hand side. They are very, very close to the pit wall. If we go on board with one of those guys as well, the pit wall is very close to them. And it's going to be all about, look at that wall there, right there. So
yeah, it's such a tight, say start straight. They've just got to be so careful off the line. So the BMW should get a decent start, and he didn't get a decent start in the first start of race 1. So he'll be looking to get a decent standing start for race 2 as they've all synced up. Can Disco get Gary off the line?
As we get going here, round 4 of the season. It takes a little while for the lights to come on, but the reds rise. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Gary 131 on pole, and we're away here. Disco gets the jump though and takes the lead as we all get away here at Road America. Has everyone managed to negotiate the start relatively cleanly? It looks like they all have, but look at that traffic as they all go into turn 1. They go. Disco leads them way. As the Ferrari and Monkey Boy is just up there with him. M Plava as well. Peaceful has dropped right down the order. He's down to 12th now. He's really lost a lot of places. Monkey Boy's down the inside of Mazda. And Peaceful, what has happened to Peaceful? Has he lost his rear wing already? Is they now? Nope, he's still got the rear wing.
He's no damage either. I think he's just being very cautious at the start, or he's just being hung out to drive. No incidents so far. Gary and Disco just kind of got a bit of a lead on Mazda.
And Plava looks like he's got a run on Monkey Boy as they come down the hill, and he does. Overtaker's right there as well. Andy with a horrid start down to 12th place position. He's going to send it on the inside of Fury. Fury's also sending it on KLF. Overtaker is trying to do everyone. There's all sorts of cars everywhere. Matt's there. Emo Guy defending from Biggs, and Biggs hits the back of him. Disco's gone round. Disco, can he get it together? Monkey Boy's gone round as well.
Matt is side by side with Andy. Andy shows him the grass. Will Matt get the inside? No, Andy kept the position. Overtaker is up to 4th. Matt was going back for the inside there. Did he get the job done? No, he dropped a bit back. They need to get on with this because Overtaker is getting on with it. Oh, he's on the grass though. That's he's not going to go very quick there, and he might have his teammate for company as well. And D Biggs, not too far. Oh, I think that was Smokey losing it in the background.
Yes, he has. Smokey on his own after the carousel dropped it, but it is Gary 131 leads the way with Mazda in 2nd. And M Prava in 3rd is a Mercedes 1, 2 and 3 with Overtaker now coming onto the M Prava as M Prava finally going to have a race without any internet issues. It was the same with the touring cars. Race 1 here, can he make it to the end of race 2? Will Monkey Boys will make it to the end? That is another question as well. And can Peaceful not spin it too often? Disco, can he get to the end as well? Smoky Devil with that bad start as well. Those two at the back of the pack.
Disco's dropped it again.
Disco has dropped it again, and he's really getting frustrated with this car, and he's got to keep going.
Yeah, he just glide. Oh,
no, he's gone. He has gone.
We need to check whether because he didn't return to the pit, so we'll just have to check whether he retired or Emo Guy has dropped behind Matt and Andy. There's KLF defending from Fury, or is that? Yeah, KLF has now dropped behind Fury, so he's going to have Andy on the back of him and Matt. Matt's looking all over to try and get past. Overtaker has not managed to get past that Mercedes yet, and he's going to get D-Biggs on the back of him as well.
And Bravo doing a very good job of holding back the Overtaker, but right now Fury's got a massive job of keeping Kelly behind him. Fury moving a lot under the on the straight line there, but he keeps that line as Andy gives Kelly a little bump. Kelly goes a little bit wide, but he keeps it together. Kelly really in the thick of this. He's up with some of the top guys there, and he's really trying to get his elbows out and race these guys at this front end. His Overtaker has now got ahead of M Bravo, so it looks like he's managed to get that job done, and on his way to try and hunt down at Mazda as D Biggs now onto the back of M Bravo. D Biggs down the inside as Kelly's under pressure from Andy here as they go to the carousel. Andy is going to be on the inside of the carousel. Kelly might have to be patient. He can't muscle his way through on power. He might have to be a little bit clever here, and he loses out to Andy. He will then get into the toe. Matt with a great run towards the kink, and Matt right onto the back of Kelly.
Yeah, he's going to hope Kelly goes onto the grass, which Kelly does. He gets some wiggle on, and Matt's going to be through easy as you like. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots.
Peaceful is looking on the inside of Emo Guy. Emo Guy having to defend the inside into Canada corner as Peaceful has to go around the outside. Matt has gone wide. That's given Kelly the position back.
Yeah, but Kelly's gone wide, and Matt goes back up the inside again. Ebbing and flowing.
What's happened there? Prava's going down backwards. He's gone off somewhere. He's in the wall.
He's in the wall. I don't think he's gone off there by himself. Oh yeah, definitely not. Has anybody got any damage on the front? The person behind him was D Biggs. No.
So M Bravo with major damage. Is he going to come straight into the pit? He has got major damage. He will have to pit again anyway, but he's going to muscle his way through.
He's going to continue on, try and get to the end of this lap. Matt is trying to catch back up to Andy, but and the two he's got to get past is Fury and Andy in front.
Look at Gary's lap time. He is flying out in front.
Yeah, as soon as Gary gets into a rhythm, he's all right. Overtaker is looking on. Has gone into the gravel. So where's D Biggs? D Biggs is not far behind. So the two that were battling in race 1 are going to go at it again in race 2. Peaceful gets onto the grass a little bit there.
Peaceful right onto the back of Kelly. These two have had a couple of ding-dongs with one another, and can Peaceful get past that Lamborghini here as Gary is trying to extend his gap over Mazda. Mazda also just trying to stick with him so that he can keep that Lamborghini of Overtaker nowhere near him, as D Biggs also having a great run here in race 2, sticking onto the back of Overtaker. Can he find a way through and gain himself onto the podium? That's the question. Fury and Andy though looking to try and hunt these two down though.
Ooh,
Overtaker gone wide.
Yeah, he got onto the grass there.
So D-Bigs.
I think I just saw a little jump from Fury. Has Matt? I know Matt's only a few seconds behind, but he's losing a little bit of time to Andy again. So he just doesn't have that race pace over. And the Smoky Devil has dropped right off the back. I think KLF has just done Peaceful as well.
No, Peaceful was always behind Kelly. Kelly is just trying to defend as hard as he possibly can, as Peaceful is right on the back of him. Pit window has opened this lap, so these guys can pit if they want to. As Kelly goes into the final corner, does anybody opt to pit? No, everybody stays out. And D-Bigs now is under pressure from Fury. No, he's starting to put pressure on Overtaker. I thought Fury was catching him then.
No, Andy's catching Fury, so Matt's going to be hoping these two battle, and Fury's going to be...
Overtaker's made a mistake!
He's gone into the wall, I think. I think he touched the wall on the outside, so this is a perfect opportunity for Fury.
Yeah, Fury can get onto the back of that Lamborghini, but he's also dragging Andy with him. Fury not lapping that quickly. Gary's lap time's on his own, 2:09.3. He is gone from Mazda.
He's absolutely flying. We always say, and Gary has a better second race as Emplana comes into the pit. No surprise there. Fury looking for a move. I think Overtaker was just looking for a bit of traction, and Fury's compromised himself a little there.
Yeah, I think Fury just needs to get a little bit closer. He needs to know that he's definitely on the back of him. And let's just go in the chat saying that he's retiring.
Yeah, Overtaker got onto the grass. He's gone a little bit wide, but Fury follows him. Where's Andy? Andy's not too far. Matt is really struggling for pace in this one, so I don't.
Matt's currently in no man's land right now, unless he's got damage from somewhere. But he's currently not able to stick with these boys at this precise stage. So is Matt opting to think to come in early and get his pit stop out of the way?
Gary's made a mistake because Mazda's in the lead.
Gary now making a mistake, and that gives Mazda the race lead. The man who can't decide what car he's running, as Gary's gone round.
So this will give D-Big second, Overtaker third.
Fury up into fourth, and now Andy up into fifth as well. Gary was your race leader. He's now dropped down to sixth and just ahead of his teammate. What are they going to do team-wise as Mazda leads this race now?
Yeah, Mazda's going to be jumping for joy and thinking about what car would be better around here.
Someone is into the pits. Who's it going to be? It is Gary. 131 is coming to the pits.
He might have damage, in all fairness. As Overtaker goes for second on D-Bigs. D-Bigs going to try and hold it around the outside. That's not going to work. That's just open the door for Fury.
D-Big's not happy with that one. Little flash of the lights. He thinks the Overtaker didn't give him any room on exit. Fury down the inside and gets ahead of D-Biggs. D-Biggs just needs to stick with Fury. Fury moves to one side. D-Biggs then makes his one move. Fury chops his nose off again. He can't keep doing that too often. He needs to stick to one line and defend it. As D-Biggs looking to the outside, Fury defends the inside. Andy on the grass a little bit. D-Biggs later on the brakes, and he goes around the outside of Fury. He goes wide. Overtaker makes a mistake. D-Biggs makes a little wiggle. Fury back down the inside again. Andy's in the back of all this. Emo Guy and Smokey are both in the pits as well.
D-Biggs has spun it.
D-Biggs has spun it all on his own, and that's put those two up. Is Matt going to get going as well? Is Matt looking to try and make a move on?
Matt's got him.
Matt has got him, so Matt up a place also.
I wonder whether Matt is struggling with his leg or back, but they just not got the pace in this one, as Fury is now going to try and put the pressure on Overtaker, who is just over a second up the road.
1.2 seconds up the road is the Overtaker, but Mazda still leads this race and lapping quite consistently, but Fury and Andy are coming back at them. Andy on his 100th appearance here at Simplay Motorsport, can he get another race win under his belt? That is the question. He will have to look at pitting relatively early. As Phil says, Gary is going for the win. My driver of the day, says Phil. As we will get your votes on driver of the day, so guys, get your driver of the day in, as we are on lap 5. A third of the race is already gone, and it is Mazda who still leads this race. Overtaker in second, Fury third, Andy fourth, 5th is Matt, 6th is D Biggs, and 7th is Peaceful. He's quietly making his way up the pack. KLF 8th, 9th, Monkey Boy, Gary in 10th, Emo Guy in 11th, and Smoky Devil with 12th, and Emplava bringing up the rear. Obviously with that first lap chaos he is back underway, but he has to keep scoring points. He needs to keep going.
Yeah, and there's just a little bit of time to Fury, because I think Fury is now trying to make hay while the sun shines on Overtaker base. The gap is about 1.5 seconds.
Overtaker now bringing that gap down to Mazda. He was a second. He has had a wiggle. Fury trying to stick to Overtaker. He could do with helping his teammate out, because Overtaker he's a second quicker than Mazda that last lap. And he's really trying to bring that gap down. Mazda with plenty of experience. He's leading this race. He should be able to keep this under control as Fury goes a little bit deep and a big wiggle there. Andy goes wide as well.
When Overtaker does get onto the back of Mazda, though, Mazda is going to be the toughest person to pass ever. We know how hard Mazda is to pass. At the best of times, he's going to be even tougher to pass, knowing that his teammate is the car behind.
Yeah, definitely. So Mazda will be playing a defensive game here to help him out. D Biggs onto the back of Matahimovic. Matt really seems to be struggling here. Don't know what it is, but he just does not seem to have the pace. As D Biggs in the Audi looking to try and get himself back up into 5th place position and try and score some decent points here, as D Biggs has had a very good meeting here at Road America, and that Audi seems to have helped him out a lot here.
Yeah, say next week is similar, and for our viewers who don't watch GT World Challenge Europe, it's what Valentino Rossi races in. Mr. David Addison himself said that Imola is an Audi track, so D Biggs and Argent, as long as Argent's there, will be rubbing their hands together. As that is Fury into the pits. I think Fury lost a position. I think he'd lost a position to Andy already before he'd come into the pits. So I wonder whether he's made a mistake coming through Canada.
But either way, Fury now into the pits. He gets his pit stop done and out of the way. While he had that mistake, it was best to get his pit stop done. As Matt's in the wall. That's put D Biggs up a place now. So Matt making a vital error there. He's got damage to the front end. Monkey Boy is into the pits as well. All these guys now serving their pit stops, and Monkey Boy's wheel is still going at the stage. Emplava's internet is still managing to carry on also, and Matahimovic is really struggling now. He's got big damage to the front of that car.
Yeah, he's got to be in this lap. Say Monkey Boy's in. Gary has already overtaken him, so Gary's on his charge back through the field after he had such a promising opening few laps.
All depends on what happened with Fury, because Gary isn't actually too far off the back of Fury. If Fury just had a slow entry, then Gary could still possibly be in the hunt for this fight for the podium positions. He's not too far off. He's currently 3 seconds off the back of Fury, as those guys have now got their pit stops out of the way. We're still waiting on Biggs, Overtaker, Peaceful, Mazda.
That sounds like an Audi off. That's D Biggs off.
D Biggs, another mistake from himself, and he's gone round.
Peaceful's up to 5th. So
Peaceful having a great race.
He will more than likely do Matt in the pits, because Matt will be in there for a while if he's fixing the damage, but D Biggs is looking to come back already on the Ferrari.
He is indeed, just in the background as well. KLF in the Lamborghini as Beastville goes wide.
They both go wide. The Audi, I think, has a little bit more top speed.
To come into Canada corner, and Biggs can't seem to find a way past. These two still yet to pit also, and we'll just wait for them to come in. Mazda carries on leading this race, and he's just managing the gap between him. He's done his fastest lap of 2:09.8, while Overtaker does a 4. Andy matches Overtaker, so they're all matching one another. Matt is into the pit, so is Peaceful, so is Biggs. Biggs has to be cautious that he doesn't hit the back of Peaceful, and he doesn't.
He doesn't hit the back. So that's good, as that is Kelly that comes through. So Kelly goes up into 4th place.
So all those guys are in the pits. They've got their pit stops done. Matt's done his pit stop. Kelly, we're still waiting for Overtaker. Smokey done his pit as well. So we're just waiting on Andy, Overtaker, and Mazda now.
And yeah, and Kelly as well.
And Kelly also. The top 4 still yet to pit. And how quick was Peaceful and Biggs to stop? That's the question. Biggs looks like he's jumped Peaceful. Where is Peaceful? Yeah, Peaceful is behind Biggs. So Biggs has cleared him. Fury is in 5th. There's Gary's gone up to 6th.
Yeah, Gary's jumped all of them. So Gary is just behind Fury here. So Gary could still be on for a podium at this rate.
Fury just needs to keep an eye on Gary. Gary's bringing that gap down. Gary's last lap was a 9.4. He's as quick as the leaders at the minute. So Gary on good pace at this minute. Emo Guy has done his pit stop. He's on the back of Peaceful. Peaceful is trying to stick with Biggs. Well, Matt has dropped himself down to 10th place position. Meanwhile, back to the front, it's Mazda leading the way with a 1.5 second gap. Overtaker is trying everything he possibly can to bring that gap down.
Yeah, he's pushing that Lamborghini as hard as possible. He don't seem to be as or the rear end on that doesn't seem to be all over the place this time. Seems quite planted so far. So he made the one mistake. He might have damage, but I just don't think Mazda's got the pace. And Plava comes back into the pits. Andy now going to come
Andy's
into
in.
the pits.
Yep, Andy is. He's going to try the undercut here, isn't he? Well, yeah. A bit of clean air. He's got to hope that he jumps Fury and Gary, which he should do. So Andy into the pits. Fury currently at the kink towards Canada Corner. He's currently up on his lap time. Gary's lost some time to Fury here. So Gary must have made a mistake somewhere.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's got any damage. KLF is going to come past Andy. I think he's already on his way. No, he hasn't even stopped yet. Let's see how quick this stop is. Oh, that's gone. Stop.
Where is Fury? He's in the final corner. I don't think Fury's going to get anywhere near Andy here. Andy's pit box is right at the bottom, so he's got a clear run on the exit. So Andy will come back out in 4th place position, but more importantly ahead of Fury and Gary.
Matt's trying to get onto the back of Emo Guy. He'll have the straight line speed. Down the straight. The gap at the front is 1.6 seconds. Overtaker was 6 tenths quicker than Mazda last lap.
If Andy has a good hour lap here, he could possibly jump Mazda and Overtaker. They've both done a 2:10 as Matt is now onto the back of Emo Guy here. Can he clear the Lamborghini relatively quickly here? What does Overtaker do? Does he pit? If I was Overtaker, what I would do is the opposite of what Mazda does. If Mazda decides to carry on going, he then goes in the pits. If Mazda goes in, then he pits. That's one lap of just clean air and not being stuck behind that Mercedes. Lap 11 is the pit window closes, and they're currently on lap 9.
Yeah, just looking on Matt's stream, Matt has fixed all of his damage. Oh, Emo Guy just spinning his wheels up there. Matt going to look to the inside, get the job done early. Emo Guy cuts him off and Matt can't get the job done.
That's a very brave corner to get it job done there. But Mazda and Overtaker in the final corner. What are these two are going to do? They're both going to carry on. So Andy now has got one job and one job only. Bring that gap down as quickly as he possibly can while he's got the clean air. Kelly, another person still yet to pit, going as long as he possibly can. 2 more laps of pit window time. If they go past lap 11, they will get penalised as that gets right on the back of Emo. Look how close he gets.
He's going to have a go, but Emo goes going to be too far in front. Matt could pretty much sniff the back of Emo Guy's Lamborghini.
Both those cars had a lift as Kelly is now into the pits. He's now served his pit stop. As Matt just comes into Canada Corner, misses his braking a little bit there and wiggles on entry and just loses out a little bit there. Where's Kelly going to come out after all this?
Is where is Kelly? Where Kelly has he come into his box yet? No, there's his box out.
So
how
he's
quick
in.
Stop going to be good stop.
He's going to have to come behind the back of Matt and Emo Guy here, so it hasn't going long, hasn't really worked out for him. So Matt and Emo Guy will clear him. That's one less car for Matt to worry about, but Kelly now into 10th place. He's ahead of Monkey Boy, Smokey and Empava.
Overtaker's made a mistake. Look, the gap's 3 seconds.
He has made a mistake. Mazda really controlling this race ever since he's got in the lead. His lap times got quicker and quicker. The man who said he was struggling in practice, he's now the fastest man out on track. But Andy, I think, is going a little bit quicker. He's brought that gap down to the top 2. It was 34 seconds. It's 33 now. It's back to 34. So the time's yo-yoing up and down.
Yeah, we just need to see what lap time Andy does this lap as an indication of whether he's closing in or not. Matt is still stuck behind the Lamborghini of Emo Guy. He's got, I think, all the way up to Gary just in his sights as well. So Gary could play the ultimate team game here and start holding up D-Big's Peaceful and Emo Guy from Matt to get some more points.
Why would he do that at the start of the season? Mazda is into the pits. Mazda choosing to get his pit stop done.
Overtaker as well.
Overtaker is in. Now the important thing is, where is Andy? He's now coming to Canada corner.
Mazda's in his box. Is his stop going to be good? It's a long hold. It's a very long hold. He's away now. What about Overtaker? He's been held by Mazda. That's like the same hold. Where's Andy? Andy is coming into the final corner.
They're only halfway through the pit lane. This is going to be close, Jamie. They're going to be very, very close.
With Fury as well.
I think they'll just do it, but Andy's going to be right on the gearbox of Overtaker. Mazda will be off the limiter now. He'll be going. Overtaker is going to get done there by Andy. Andy with more pace is coming onto the back of Mazda. And we know, Jamie, myself and you have raced against Mazda, and Mazda is probably up there with one of the most difficult guys to overtake. Oh
yeah, he definitely is. Mazda is such a difficult guy to overtake. Matt still on the back of Emo Guy. Can he get? He's nowhere near close down the straight. What about Fury? Fury is about a second behind
Andy.
Overtaker. Andy is looking to get the job done already.
On his 100th appearance here, can he take his race win here? Can he start catching Fury? Fury had the opportunity to get 25 wins. Andy's gone very wide there and he makes a mistake. Mazda has just got to keep his cool and focus on the race ahead.
Yeah, Mazda can go as slow as he likes. If Andy can't get through, then it doesn't matter. Matt's still behind Emo Guy down in 9th place. Mazda just being nice and cautious here. The only problem is bringing overtaking Fury on to the back of them. But as we saw before the pits, Overtaker couldn't really catch on to the back of Mazda.
No, he could not. As we go into the kink, as Mazda is trying his absolute best to keep Andy behind him at this stage. Andy really on a charge here to try and take a win here. Just trying to look at most wins for Andy. Where is Andy?
He's so close. He's right on the gearbox of Mazda. He's going to try and get Slipstream up the straight. The BMW isn't going to... Oh, he's had a wiggle though. He's had a massive wiggle, and that's that chance well and truly gone. He's now going to have to try and possibly defend from Overtaker. Overtaker in his slipstream. Fury just close behind. Peaceful is on the back of D-Biggs as well for 6th place. Matt is still staring at the back of Emo Guy's Lamborghini. I think Overtaker's made a little mistake there because he's dropped off the back and Fury is in the boot of the Lamborghini. As Fury's had a wiggle and gone wide, he's lost a few tenths, but
all right now at the minute it's becoming the Mazda train, isn't it, Jamie? They're all getting stuck behind him. Matt is even closer to Emo Guy than he's ever been before now. He's literally in the gearbox of that Lamborghini. You could not get any closer. Currently, Andy is on 17 race wins. He's currently matched with Matt at the minute. Can he go one more and make it 18? It's still myself leading the way with Fury in second, and then it's yourself, Big Boy Brazier, in third with most wins here at Simplay Motorsport. And Matimovic trying everything he possibly can to find a way past Emo Guy. And also
he had a massive wiggle there, so he's not able to get the undercut. Overtaker's just dropping a little bit off the back. I think Fury might... Yeah, he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's really struggling here, Fury. The Mercedes does not seem to be handling as well as Mazda's Mercedes, but Mazda doing a fantastic job here of keeping the pressure on here on Andy. Overtaker as well is also just in the mix of this. This is going to be a great little fight towards the end. 3 laps to go, and it's still all to play for. Emo Guy has pitted. I'm pretty sure he did.
I think his Overtaker got a little bit on the curb there, not enough for Fury, because Fury's dropping slowly off the back of this.
He is just dropping off the back of this. Fury not able to stick with the leaders at the minute, but Mazda doing a cracking job to hold the pressure. And once again, these guys, Andy goes much quicker, so does Overtaker, and Fury, that 212, he really struggled that lap.
Matt has finally... Oh, his Emo Guy's gone.
Emo Guy's disconnected, and we know for a fact that Emo Guy does seem to struggle with internet issues, so he has gone from this race. Peaceful Explosion has got right onto the back of D-Biggs. Where is that fight gone? Where is D-Biggs? There he is. So Peaceful is bringing that gap down to Biggs at this minute, as Andy has made 2/10 on the back of Mazda, as Mazda had a poor run here, and Andy is hunting him down. 2 yellow cars heading towards turn 3. Which one's going to come out on top? And Andy is starting to put the pressure down, but is he going to get too much in his own head right now?
Mazda had a little wiggle. Andy's having a look. He's committing. Mazda gives him the run. I think Mazda's going to have the drive out of the corner.
He's going to have the inside for the next corner as well, but Andy has gone around the outside of the car here of Matt. He's sticking with it. Overtaker's there as well. Mazda's just got to hang in there, and he's breaking into the corner. Andy sends it on him and goes deep. Mazda is going to hang on there. Andy's gone wide. Andy's made the position off track. He's going to have to get the position back, and Overtaker now takes the lead of this race. Whoa!
Andy's going to try and go back on the inside of Overtaker, but Overtaker's going to be on the outside for the King.
Oh, this is going to be messy. Mazda is right on the back of these two. He probably don't want to get too much involved. Andy's going to try and stick it, and he's hit him. That's put Mazda in the wall, Andy in the wall. Overtaker carries on. Fury now goes through. This is going to allow Gary. Where's Gary? He's not quite in this fight yet, but Gary... Oh, Mazda and Andy coming together there. Nowhere Mazda could have gone. Fury now is on the back of Overtaker. Fury could still get his 25th win here at Simplay Motorsport. Be 10 away from myself with most race wins here at Simplay Motorsport. He's just got to put Overtaker under enough pressure, but he can't put himself under pressure.
He's got 2 laps. He's got 2 laps to go. Andy's still in third, but he's...
What damage is he carrying?
Yeah.
What damage are these boys carrying at all? Because Gary will be wanting to hunt them down. Excuse me.
Yeah, like I said earlier, a podium for Gary is still on the cards here.
Very much so. After a little mistake earlier on, he is back in this. He will catch Mazda. Can he catch Andy as well? That is the question. As Fury's goal is to try and find a way past Overtaker. Emo Guy in the chat says just had a power cut, man, with an angry emoji. So he's lost a little bit of power and he's unable to finish this race. So that's a shame for him.
Yeah, I don't think Mazda's going to be very happy with Andy for overtaking off track. Gary could just, Gary's just walked past. Once again, thank you, Mama, for the carrots. Mazda's going to come back down the inside, but he's going to have to drive. But is Gary going to hold it around the outside? He's going to have the straight line advantage, and they make contact. Mazda keeps the position. Fury is within 4/10 of Overtaker.
Fury is right on the back of Overtaker. We know Overtaker's been struggling here. So Fury trying everything he possibly can to outscore him. Mazda defending for his life. Gary goes down the inside of Mazda.
Yeah, Gary had a little slide there, kind of used.
Gary's going to go right around the outside of the carousel. Is he going to keep his foot pinned? I don't think he's able to because Mazda's still on the inside. Fury closer than ever to Overtaker. 4 tenths between those two as they go towards Canada corner, but I don't think he's close enough to make a move. Gary is right on the back of Mazda. Mazda has to lift. They both break.
Massively.
The longer it takes these two, the more and more chance Biggs is coming. Gary knows there's a podium on the line here. He's now going to clear Mazda. Brilliant racing from these two, especially Mazda with a damaged car. Gary drops it.
Where's D-Biggs? Here comes D-Biggs. Can D-Biggs get in front of Gary? He's going to go side by side through here. D-Biggs.
Oh, they touch.
He's got the move done. Elbows out there from D-Biggs. And Peaceful's going to jump Gary as well. So,
what has happened there? Peaceful and Gary coming together, lap 14 there, and they've just banged into each other.
Yeah, and Matt gets up a position. I think Smoky Devil and Monkey Boy have been having a good old battle this race. They've been, and Smoky's now clobbered the wall. That's
Fury.
Probably 10th place gone.
Fury's in the lead.
Fury's in the lead. So Fury has taken the lead on the last lap. Can Fury keep it all together?
He's carrying what he did at Brands Hatch Indy. He takes the lead of this race. In the touring cars, he did this to me, and he's now on his way to possibly take his 25th win here at Simplay Motorsport. He's only got half a lap to go, and he will do it. Overtaker in second, Andy in third. Andy given a massive lifeline with Mazda holding up the rest of the pack. Biggs is now onto the back of Mazda. Can Biggs find a way past Mazda as he's crippling his way back to the start-finish line? This is really hotting up. Peaceful's there as well, but Fury is on his way to possibly take another race win here at Simplay Motorsport.
Yeah, Fury's gapped Overtaker. So has Overtaker got any damage? Did he lose it at Lawnmower Corner?
Possibly. Overtaker's probably conceived to him and thought, basically, let's score points. He's outscoring Andy, he's outscoring Matt. You know, second place, he doesn't have to fight Fury for a win. Fury not with many points so far this season, and he is on his way. Fury CBK could possibly take his 25th win of this his career here at Simplay Motorsport. That'll make him 10 away from most wins in on Simplay Motorsport. 10 away from myself. But Fury comes into the final sector. Patient game for him, and into the final corner he goes. As we want your driver of the day, guys, get your votes in for driver of the day as Fury exits the final corner to come home to take his 25th win here at Simplay Motorsport. Congratulations to Fury CBK. He wins here for round 4 of the championship. Overtaker will come home in second. Andy is going to struggle his way back into third place position here on the podium once again. Mazda is going to drag his Mercedes back home into that 4th place position, with D Biggs coming home in that 5th place position. Guys, get your votes in for driver of the day. Peaceful in 6th place. Matt, best that he could do was 7th after a little mistake by himself. Gary with possibly a podium on the line, he comes home in 8th. Monkey Boy has managed to get past KLF, who's dropped down to 10th place position. So Monkey Boy, good points to him, and Peaceful are going to come home for 9th. KLF in 10th with his teammate not here. No Sati Apex to help him out. KLF will have to deal with 10th place position, and Smoking Hot Racing, Smoky Devil and M Plava bring up the rear as Mazda's quite happy with that win as M Plava really struggling with lag there.
Yeah, we'll get off.
We need to get we just need to get Fury and Overtaker and Andy back in the commentary box. If you could possibly do that for me, Jamie, as we have a run through of the standings here. And it is Fury who is your race winner. He takes his 25th career win at Simplay Motorsport, as Matt is currently doing the
and Plava disconnected at the end there.
Oh,
he did disconnect.
That's a shame for Emperor, but it is Fury who is your race winner. Overtaker will take second place. Third is Andy. Fourth is Mazda. Fifth is D-Big. Sixth is Peaceful. Seventh is Matt. Eighth is Gary131. Ninth is Monkey Boy. 10th is KLF 900. 11th is Smoky Devil, and bringing up the rear was Emperor. He did pretty much make it to the end. He just disconnected to the end. We'll have to discuss with the admin if they're going to reward him with those points, because he did pretty much make the end of the race.
And Fury got fastest lap as well, with a
Fury,
2 minute 8.6.
Yeah, so Fury also with the fastest lap as well. So I've just seen the tables are up to date, and it looks like they are. And we do have Andy in the chat. And Andy, race 3 and up and down race again. It was 1 minute you were looking good, and you were hunted down the leaders, then a mistake, then you jumped most of them in the pits again, and then just at the end you had a little tangle with Mazda and Overtaker.
Yeah, I made the move on Mazda, but outbrake myself, and then Overtaker was coming around the outside, and I thought I might have overtaken him off the track, but it was a lot of sort of it was a bit scrappy. And so I wasn't sure if he might have had a moment as well, because Overtaker came past both of us, which made me think that maybe it's kind of just one of those things where everyone's, diving in. So it didn't really feel like an illegal overtake, because it's kind of like, I think we were all kind of like struggling in that corner. So I don't know. But anyway, I kept the position, and then Overtaker got me around the outside of the carousel, or he was alongside me on the outside of the carousel. Next corner, I tried to poke a nose in, backed out of it just too late and clipped the curb on the inside, and the next thing I know, Mazda and I both having a trip to the wall together. So unfortunate, and I'm sorry to him that he kind of ruined his chances of taking the win. I don't know, it all happened quite quickly, to be honest, but yeah, it's done. It is what it is. But yeah, sorry to him.
Not quite the way you wanted your 100 race to go, but nonetheless, it is still good points. You walk away with Road America with a first and a third. You can't be too unhappy with that. It's definitely a good wheel-to-wheel fight with Overtaker as well. You get to know the level of him now, wheel-to-wheel. So you go to Imola feeling a little bit better, no?
Yeah, I mean, I could have walked away from here with the championship lead. So it feels like an opportunity missed, but. These things happen. It's a track where it's probably going to be Overtaker's worst track of the season, based on what we saw last week at Sakito. It's a long way off of that level here, so it feels like this one went begging. But Imola's not a bad track, so we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, it's a bit of a frustrating night, to say the least.
But nonetheless, 8 points behind Overtaker in the standings at the minute, so it's still all to play for anyway. It's only round 2, so there'll be circuits that definitely suit the BMW better, though, no?
Yeah, of course. No, it's a long season. And as we all know, the championship lead at this point, or indeed at any point up until the very last race, doesn't mean a whole lot. So I'll keep pushing, and hopefully we can hang in there and be there to be within striking distance at the end. That's the main thing.
Well, congratulations on the third place and the race win tonight, and also your 100th appearance here at Simplay Motorsport. Well done for that as well, and we'll see you in a week's time in Imola.
Thanks, Dan. Cheers.
Cheers. And we got Overtaker back in the chat as well, and really had to get your elbows out in that race, Overtaker. Really having to push the limits, but just not enough to catch Fury. Just lost at the end to Fury, and just a bit of a scrappy race, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but it was good result. Fury deserved the win. He was the fastest man today, in my opinion. Good race pace, good quality pace. So, of course, it would be a great battle. In the last lap, I dropped it, of course.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I think I'm very pleased with the result in Road America.
I was going to say, you leave Road America 2 podiums, you've got to be happy with that, considering it's a circuit you didn't like, you weren't looking forward to. You've got to be happy knowing that Imola, you're leading the championship by 8 points.
Yeah, I'm super happy. So I'm super happy, and I'm also congratulations to Fury. He deserved third place in the first race. He made the mistake, and then I made the mistake, so it's even now.
Either way, we move on to Imola next round. Are you looking forward to that round?
Yeah, of course. With no track limits, it's gonna be okay to drive. So I'm looking forward to Imola.
The home of the Lamborghini. Can you bring it home for another win with that?
Yeah, let's see.
Well, congratulations on your second place tonight, mate, and congratulations on the podium earlier on as well, and also now leading the championship.
Cheers. Bye.
And we now move on to Fury, who is now on 25 wins here at Simplay Motorsport. You've reached the milestone. How does that feel, mate?
Oh, exhausting. It does feel good.
You're only now 10 wins away from myself, and with me only entering the touring cars, do you think you can catch me before the end of the season?
Hopefully, because obviously touring car and then GT3. It would be
And
nice
F1.
to go in. Oh yeah, and F1. Yeah, but I'm not quick enough in F1.
Well, after race one didn't quite go your way, but race 2 went a lot better. I think a little bit of luck possibly came into your way in race 2, but you've got to be there to capitalise, haven't you?
Yeah, obviously I came out the pits, had a little damage, and Maz was holding them up as well, defending from Andy. Andy obviously snuck up his inside. I was watching it all unfold, trying to catch onto the back. They collided. I managed to keep the pace going, get on that second of overtaker, get the slipstream, but coming into turn 1 on the last lap, he went a bit wide, clipped the curb, and it catapulted him into the wall, but he bounced back and was still on my behind.
Nonetheless, it's been a great round nonetheless for yourself. You bring yourself back into the championship. You're now 4th in the championship, 17 behind overtaker. We now move to Imola. What are your feelings on Imola, and can the Mercedes come back?
Imola's a bit of an interesting one with the Mercedes, because obviously Mercedes being heavy and powerful, and the downhills, the hills, it just lifts and spins, but hopefully can keep it going and bring home more points and hopefully get on the back of overtaker in the championship.
And just a shout out to your teammate as well, Maz. They did a fantastic job at most of that race, holding the lead, and just a little bit of bad luck towards the end. But nonetheless, Teletubby Motorsport looked very good there tonight, and has dropped yourselves up into 3rd place position. So good points for the team, though. Yeah,
it was interesting, but obviously it would have been nice to have Teletubby Motorsport on the podium together. Just sad him and Andy came together, but that's racing, I suppose. There's always incidents.
That is racing, but nonetheless, mate, congratulations on your 25th win here at Simplay Motorsport.
Cheers, mate.
And we'll just do a quick run through of the championship standings. It is Overtaker who leads away with 78 points, ahead of Andy, who's on 78 points, separating those two. But Matahimovic is just behind them as well. He's on 69 points, 9 points behind them. Fury getting himself back into this fight with 17 behind. Gary in 5th on 33 points and 45 behind. D-Biggs matches him as well in 6th place position. Mazda now crawls himself up in the 7th place position with Peaceful Explosion in 8th place now. Emo Guy in 9th. Smoky Devil in 10th. KLF 900 and Satie Paris, the teammates together 11th and 12th, with Disco in 13th. 14th is Monkey Boy. 15th is Argent, who wasn't here to race, and M Plava brings up the rear. The championship standings look like this. Silent of the Lambos, Lamborghini leads the way of 106 points, 4 ahead of Jaeger Motorsport, who are 4 points behind them. Teletubby Motorsport gets themselves into the fight as well with 91 points and 15 behind them, with Slingshot Motorsport down with 84 points, 22 behind, with Audio Sport Prolapse in that 5th place position with 56 behind. Pushing the limits, Audi R8 in 6th place position with 43 points. Simplay Motorsport in 7th with 41, and Smoking Hot Racing in the final position with 34 points. Jamie, final words from yourself?
Yeah, so it's been good racing tonight. Well done to Fury on his 25th win here at Simplay Motorsport. Hopefully more of the same at Imola next week. Back to an old school circuit that we all know and love, and so hopefully we can see more of the same.
Yeah, definitely so. And your driver of the day?
My driver of the day has got to go to, I'd say, Andy.
Big boy Brazier gives it to Andy. I'm gonna have to say, for me, it's got to be D Biggs. He looked a lot better in the Audi today and has scored very good points for him and Argent. But that is it from us here at Simply Motorsport for round 2 of the season. Round 3 and 4 are done here in Road America. We'll see you in a week's time in Imola, but make sure you tune in on Sunday night as we will be heading to this circuit of the Americas. We stay in America. Can Gary keep it on track and not take out half the pack? And can Matt extend his championship lead? Also, make sure you tune in on Tuesday night as we head to Silverstone Classic for the Thruxton layout in the touring cars. And also, we will return for the GT3 Pro Am and Pros at Imola in a week's time. Can Matt stay around and take his PlayStation away so that he can keep his championship fight going? Can Andy take another race win, and can Overtaker extend his championship lead? But from myself and Andy here this evening, Andy and Jamie, that's the one. I'm gonna have to sleep here. From Jamie and myself and Andy,
me as well.
and Andy. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.